welcome back to my channel. I'm Robin, or Hobbit Reading List, and this week we are still trying to finish up my July TBR. I have one book that I need to read from it, and I've only read 2 chapters, and I'm getting concerned because it is it's the 6th. It's the 6th of August, and I'm still working on my July TBR, and I have 3 large books on my August TBR, so let's just go ahead and get into that. So the thing is, I haven't read this week. Like, today's the 6th. It's Tuesday. I didn't really read yesterday. I'm not really gonna read tonight because I'm at work. I happen to have a break in between meetings right now, but I'll be working until 9 o'clock. And so I'll have other things I have to do. I won't really have time to read. So the earliest I can read is tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Which, like, that's fine. But that also kind of sucks. You know? Like, it doesn't give me a lot of time to do anything. So that's kind of where we're at. I just wanted to acknowledge that for myself, that I haven't read this week, and that it's okay. It's all right. The worst that can happen is that I don't read all the books on my TBR, and you know what? I'll get to them eventually. It's fine. Take this as a sign for yourself that if you're worried about something or, you know, have a looming task, like, you'll get to it. You'll get to it eventually. It'll be okay. Yeah, I just wanted to say that, and I will talk to you guys hopefully, well, not tomorrow, hopefully Thursday, with all the things I read tomorrow. Hey everyone. I still have not really read. I did read a chapter of Psmith Journalist. I need to stop procrastinating on it. I need to have it read by this weekend. Otherwise, the very small hope of me ever getting to my August TBR and potentially finishing it is just diminishing by the day. So there's that. I will say, in that chapter of Psmith Journalist that I read, it was the first appearance of Psmith, and my dad told me that he was worse, like having the real Psmith in this book compared to like the knockoff Psmith we got in Prince and Betty. The real one is worse. I should have known. And I'm sorry if my eyes are like really watery. I was just sneezing a lot. So I'm not crying, I promise. Although it has been kind of a rough week. Although I think it's getting better. I cleared up some like miscommunication. I actually lost another pound. So hopefully the week is turning around. So other than the very little bit of Psmith Journalist that I read, I did listen to 2-ish more hours of Vanity Fair. And man, I'm worried about these 2 girls. Like, their life is not going the way they planned, which I kind of figured. And the narrator is, how to describe the narrator? He likes to take the piss. Not the narrator of the audiobook, although he does do a good job, but the narrator of the actual book, he sort of keeps like dropping like foreshadowing of like, yeah, their life's about to get rough. And it's like, geez, okay. So I'm not that far into it, but I don't want to give spoilers. Like, I think I'm like 20% through, but so much has happened that I do worry that it'll be spoilers, and so I'm not gonna say anything, I guess, except Becky and Amelia's lives are like, they're getting rough. They're not like destitute in any way, but I think this book does do a good job of showing like how strict the rules of society were in that time, and honestly, like, the rules of society are strict now, they're just different. So yeah, it's really interesting. But yeah, so that's about it. That's all I read. So I wanted to acknowledge that, but I am hoping to read today, and tomorrow night I am actually not going to temple because I will be coming home and reading. So yeah, that's where we're at. Good morning, everyone. I want to apologize for the very short vlog. I have not read that much. Like, I am now halfway through Smith Journalist, and I'm going to blame Smith entirely for how much I have not read, because I hate him. That's not a surprise to anyone who has watched any of the vlogs where I've read a Smith book. But I just can't stand him. So I'm procrastinating really hard, which means I'm not reading. So I think last time I updated was Thursday. Yeah, because I talked about Vanity Fair. I didn't read I didn't listen to Vanity Fair yesterday. One, because it was my early morning and I was like super tired, and as much as I like Vanity Fair, I knew that the narration would end up making me more tired. And then it was sort of the same thing on my drive home. So there was that. So I will resume listening to it tomorrow. I should still finish it within the month. But yeah, so there's that. I'm like, oh, I hate Smith so much. I'm so glad this is the last one. Okay, I'm gonna make this quick because I have my breakfast. Just like, just waiting to be eaten. So I'm halfway through Smith Journalist. The plot is about the same as the second half of Prince and Betty. There are some differences. We are getting more detail, which in a lot of cases I'm enjoying, because I'm like, okay, that makes this scene make more sense than it did in Prince and Betty. So I am enjoying that. Smith is worse. So we had a knockoff Smith in Prince and Betty. He's so much worse in this one. Like, the true Smith, no one can compare. I just hate him. I hate him so much. I am determined to finish this today. Dad and I are recording the podcast in the afternoon. I'm going to go get a pedicure after I eat breakfast, and then I'm just gonna power through it. I have caffeine. I will make tea once I finish this. Like, I will finish it, because at this point, a third of the month has gone by and I haven't truly started my August TBR. Like, I've started Vanity Fair and that's it. So I'm just like, I'm also bribing myself, because I do this thing where I reward myself for every pound that I lose. I haven't really talked much about it, but I'm doing pretty well with it. Getting a reward for every pound keeps my motivation up to continue making healthier choices, making time to walk and exercise. So it's working really well. But my next reward is going to a Cubs game, which I love doing. I haven't done it in a couple of years, but I love going to Cubs games, even though I don't really follow baseball. But I can't explain it. Well, I can. I love live sporting events, because I get sucked into the energy of it by people who like truly love it. And even if I don't know that much about baseball, I get sucked into it. Same thing with football. Like, we're going to an NFL game in September. I love going. I can watch football. It's not my favorite. I've talked about gymnastics enough that I think people understand where my tastes lie. I can watch it, but like, I love going to the live games. And so that's my next reward. And in preparation of that, my next book, after I finish Smith Journalist today, I'm going to go ahead and pick up You Should Be So Lucky by Kat Sebastian, because one of the main characters plays baseball. So I'm hoping that will also motivate me of like, okay, the sooner I finish this, the sooner I can pick up You Should Be So Lucky. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. Very sorry about the short vlog. Sorry. And next time you see me, I will have finished Smith Journalist. Yeah? Great. Glad we're on the same page. I'll talk to you later. I did it. I literally finished 10 minutes before we're recording, and that is with pushing the podcast back 30 minutes. So I'm not really gonna say anything new. I didn't enjoy it. Psmith is a horrible character. I'm happy to not read him anymore. The only redeeming point of the stories was like a handful of the side characters that like I enjoyed and I thought were funny. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really have anything new to say, and I have to jump to the podcast soon. So I gave it a 2.5. Mainly because of the side characters. And like, I did like the plot, but I definitely would have liked it more, you know, if Psmith hadn't been there. And I'm looking right now to see what I rated The Prince and Betty, and I also rated it a 2.5. But actually, it got a lower score. So like out of 10, it got 4.86, whereas Smith Journalist got a 5 exactly. So that's interesting. I think it's because of the side characters, but also there was more detail in Smith Journalist, and so that made me like the story a little bit better. So yeah, that's interesting. I'm going to record the podcast, and then maybe tonight I will start reading You Should Be So Lucky as a palate cleanser. So hey everyone. Reading that last Smith book really killed all of my will and motivation. It is now Monday. I'm hoping that this will be a reset. I'm currently working on a puzzle. Yeah, so I'm gonna quickly tell you what I read yesterday, which wasn't much, and then wrap up this vlog. So I listened to another 2 hours of Vanity Fair. Things have happened. It's still really interesting. It's holding my attention really well. I'm sort of maxing it at like listening to an hour, just because it is so much that happens, and it is so detailed that at times that like while I am really interested, I also like need to just be aware that like, all right, I'm starting to zone out. I should stop now. But I am at like, I don't even know how far I am. I'm under 20 hours of like left. So that's good. I will still finish it by the end of the month. Yeah, I'm just glad that it's more interesting than I thought it was going to be. Besides that, I read another chapter of Quickies. I will have to definitely like read more on the days that I work if I want to finish it before the end of the month, so I will aim to do that. But yeah, I mean that's really it. I thought that chapter was really informative. It was really interesting to read. But that's it. I'm so sorry that like my week last week was just like, it was really rough mood wise, and then like reading Smith just zapped my energy. So I am very sorry about that. I will try to do better this upcoming week. So just stick with me. But maybe leave me a comment of like a book that you read to get out of reading slumps, just because I can feel one coming on. So let me know, and maybe if I have that book, then I will read it as well. But like the video, subscribe, click notification bell, all that good stuff. I really do appreciate it, and let's hope that next week is so much better. Bye.